The world's a dangerous place. Get the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. A laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way.
Tom's giving the crew the holiday off, so sit back and enjoy our greatest hits of the Gun Talk After Show. If you've never heard it before, now's your chance. The Gun Talk After Show and all the Gun Talk episodes are available free through iTunes, or better yet, through the free smartphone app GunDealio. Now, here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim.
Yes, indeed. Guess what? It is the after show, because this is what we do when it's after the show. I like that explanation, guys.
Funny how that works.
Spot on.
That's right, boy. I tell you what, they don't call me the best radio guy in business for nothing. I tell you.
They just don't call.
Oh, they still call me anything. Oh, okay. Says, what do you think of me? Actually, I don't. Oh, okay. Rats. Man, that's bad.
Sweet.
Rats. Oh, man. So, what'd you guys do this week?
Oh, a little bit of...
Listen to the dead silence.
Actually, we did a little bit of shooting with my nephew, who was here in town with us. He's from out of state, who's never had an opportunity to have rifles or shotguns in his hands. So that was exciting. We got some great pictures.
How old?
And he's 9. And
sweet.
Fell in love with it. It was awesome. He'd been introduced to archery a couple of years ago, and we kind of expanded his horizons, and yeah, he thought it was pretty cool. So we did, immediate gratification targets. We had some great apples off of our trees and squash out of the garden that he was able to put some holes and blow up. So that was a great time.
It's like the old style shooting galleries. The reason they were so much fun is you got that immediate feedback, reactive targets.
That's right. Yep. Greatest time ever.
Not something down, do that. And then if you just hide a little bit of tannerite in one of those apples, then shazam! Applesauce!
We didn't do that to him.
Yeah, scare him to death. Go be seeking, counseling for years. So. Yeah, so why did you end up in therapy? Well, it all started with an apple bomb. Yes, okay. Oh, okay. Man, tell you what, we got some callers. I'd like to give them a chance to get in here before we get to our craziness. John has called in from Huntsville, Utah on 4. Hey, John, how are you?
Tom, I'm fine. How are you? Long time no parlay.
There you go. So what is this piece of equipment that you have?
A friend of mine from Alaska gave me this shotgun reloading thing. It's a 5-station. It's not progressive. It is blue, almost a Dillon blue. It has a shot cup, a shot reservoir and a powder reservoir up top, and the load bar with bushings. All it says on it is a little sticker on the front that says NATO, and above it says reloading, and underneath equipment. And on top of the powder and shot canisters, there's a silhouette of a black bear, front paws out, and in the middle it says BAIR. You ever heard of this thing?
I have not. Does it look like NATO is the brand name?
I honestly don't know. There is nothing in the base, in the head, in the turret, anywhere. There's no numbers that are cast in. All there is this little glue-on sticker on the front that says NATO.
Does it work?
It's missing a couple of parts. I'd kind of like to refurbish it. It would work. Yep.
Michelle, got any thoughts? That was a new one on me.
I've got nothing on that one. Not at all.
I'll tell you what. I'll email you a picture of it.
Yeah,
and you can see
great.
it yourself. And unfortunately, I don't get to listen to your show anymore because you're on time delay and we have to listen to a repeat of somebody else, but that's another story. I will send you...
Wait.
Go ahead, sir.
Like I say, you can always listen through GunDealio. Grab the app for your phone or listen through podcast.
I don't have one of those phones, Tom. I'm old school.
you still got the bag phone?
I've got a flip phone, yes. I'm sorry.
Wow, okay. Wow, you're the guy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the holdout. Last one.
You're the holdout. All right. Well, if you got even a computer, you can listen to it. Okay. Shoot me a picture. Email tom@guntalk.com, and we'll see if we can run down some info on it.
I would like to know, there's a few odds and ends missing. I think it's probably got other bushings and stuff. I'd like to use it. It would be cool just to refurbish it. So
heck yeah.
I'll send
Okay,
you
I
a
mean,
picture and
I
you
know
can
who
figure it
to,
out.
and the
It'd be
thing
great.
is, I know who to send this to. We're going to send it to the folks at MEC and over to J.B. Hodgdon at Hodgdon Powder. I mean, guys who've been in the reloading business forever, and, if there's anybody that's going to know, those are the guys who are going to know it. I'm going to see if I can run it down for you.
Okay, cool. I really appreciate it.
Cool. All right, I'll look for that email. I appreciate that, John. Mikey is in Florence, Kentucky. Hey, Mikey, what are you looking for here?
Hey, I'm going to be upgrading my concealed carry. I now carry a 1903 Colt, and I want to go with a Springfield XDS. And I was just trying to figure out what caliber.
Oh, that's how we start bar fights. As you speak to me at the moment.
Ideas.
All right. The XDS is a great pistol. I would say I'm very familiar with three pistols in that category. The Springfield XDS, the Ruger LC9S, and the Smith & Wesson Shield. All are about the same size, all do about the same thing, and it becomes personal preference as to which one you like. As we talk today, there is an XDS on my belt. I'm wearing it as I do the show, a 9mm. Now, Ryan, my son and co-host of our TV shows, he often carries an XDS, but 45. I don't know. He gets one less round. I get one more round. I get 9. He gets 45. I have about decided that for a lot of my shooting and pistols, I like the 9 for two reasons. One is that there doesn't seem to be much difference statistically in stopping power on bad guys. So I'd rather have more cartridges than fewer cartridges. And the other is the cost of the ammo is so significantly less with 9 than 45 for practice and such that I would just rather be able to shoot more with it. Michelle, the difference in price in 9 and 45 is substantial these days.
It always depends on what kind of ammunition. And, of course, anytime that you're practicing, you want to use good quality ammo. But that's an excellent point to make. And even on the inexpensive side, you're still probably looking at $25, $30 for a box of 50 and 45 caliber, where you can still get 9mm for $15, $20 for a box of 50.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep,
and then,
exactly.
And then, of course, that carries over on the hollow point side even more so.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're on the right track, Mikey. The XDS, the Shield, or the LC9S, I would go to a store that has all of those and kind of try them in your hand and see which one. There's two things. One is if you like the looks of it. The other is if you like the feel of it. All of them are going to shoot very well. That's not going to be an issue. They all have really good triggers now, and they all shoot accurately. So it's just going to be a case of which one fits your hand the best and which one looks good to you.
Yeah, I haven't tried the Shield yet. I've done the XDS, and I tried the Ruger. And most people I know, especially if they're carrying concealed, don't shoot at 25 yards, but that's where I judge. I didn't like the way the Ruger pattern was. It just
that's what I'm saying. And that's it. I shoot a Ruger very well, but it's individual. That's why I always say, please try these guns, because if you get a chance to shoot them, that's always the best way to go. So if you can find a range that will rent you a shield, do that, and then you can make your call on it. But within those three, you're going to find a good one. But honestly, the caliber is completely personal preference. That's all it is. If you just say, I just want that big bullet, then go for it. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, Mikey, I appreciate it. Good luck with that search. Yeah, that's interesting. He had tried the XDS and he had tried the LC9. Didn't like the way the LC9 worked for him. So the next person down the line is going to try the LC9S and go, wow, I love this thing. Shoots great for me.
Right.
And I think one of the other things to take in consideration there when you're looking specifically for a concealed carry gun is obviously the way that it shoots has to feel good in your hand, but the way that you're going to carry it and how heavy everything's going to end up being with the ammunition and magazines.
Where you're going to carry.
Yeah, I mean, that's an important consideration. And so, yeah, it's got to feel good, especially when you have it in your hands and you're shooting, but when you carry it, it's got to feel good too. So there's so many spectrums to take a look at when you're picking out a gun. It's so hard.
All right, let's take a quick break, and then we got some things we need to talk about. We'll be right back with the Gun Talk After Show.
The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle combines features of the Ruger American Rifle and innovations of the 1022 Rimfire Rifle to appeal to all bolt-action enthusiasts. It features a modular stock system that provides comb height options for scope or iron sight use, a power bedding integral bedding block system for outstanding accuracy, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, and a 1022 style rotary magazine for reliable feeding. The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
The Black Hills. There's nothing like it on Earth. The kind of place where characters become legends. Wild Bill Hickok, Crazy Horse, Calamity Jane. Pick any part of the world and you'll find people go there to make it their own. But this is where people come to get made. This is the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth. Black Hills Ammunition.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. shopguntalk.com.
Be sure to watch NRA Freedom Friday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. with Freedom Fighters, American Air Gunner, ATSN Stop the Threat, Gun Talk TV, Championship Season, Guns and Gear TV. Watch NRA's Freedom Friday only on the Pursuit Channel, where we deliver the outdoors.
Silencer Shop believes the world is loud enough. So we've made getting noise suppression for firearms easier than ever. All you have to do is visit a gun shop powered by Silencer Shop. And before you know it, noisy things like radio commercials will seem to be quieter. Help make the world a quieter place. Visit silencershop.com to find a dealer powered by Silencer Shop near you.
All right, we're back. It's Jim, it's Michelle, and it's Tom. And I wonder, I'm going to have to get out my scale, and I want to compare the weight difference between, say, 15 rounds of 9 and 15 rounds of 45. It doesn't sound like much, but it can start to add up after a while. I don't know. It might be an issue.
We're pretty geeky.
Who knows?
We're pretty geeky when you're weighing your loaded gun. It's pretty geeky.
And I'm going to do it in grams. So there. I don't know what a gram is, but I'm going to do it that way. So
I just know there's a bunch of them.
There's Billy, and then there's all the rest. No, that's okay. That's all different.
Crackers
right. Graham crackers. There you go. Okay, line one. Barry's with us out of Carson City, Nevada. Hey, Barry, thanks for your patience and putting up with the silliness we do around here. How are you?
Fine, Tom. Thanks for taking my call. I like listening to you.
Oh, good deal. How can we help?
I'm looking for a scope, maybe a universal type scope I could use on maybe a 223 AR and a 223 bolt action, but I don't want it too big, but I want it effective enough for the bullet, maybe a little effective than what the bullet is effective for. Then that way I know I've got enough to hit my target, or at least have a good chance of hitting it.
Okay, so you want one that's powerful enough, has enough magnification to hit out to, you figure 300 yards is about as far as you'll be shooting?
Well, I don't really want to shoot no further than that with a 223, but if I had to, I'd have to. But
sure.
Usually at 300 yards, that's usually a long enough shot for a 223, because I've tried longer and the wind and everything's got a pretty good effect on it.
Now, are you shooting prairie dogs? What are you, or coyotes? What are we talking about here?
Squirrels, rabbits,
okay. Small critters. Right.
Just having fun.
All right. Now, here the other question is, and this is going to sound a little bit weird, what's the closest distance? Because if you got an AR, for people who use them like up close and for personal protection, the closest distance might be 3 feet. Would you be using this for self-defense, or is this strictly going to be an outside hunting type rig?
Well, I hope I don't have to use it for self-defense, but I do shoot a lot of my targets, probably most of them 100 yards, because at least it feels good to hit something.
Yeah, always does. That's much better. I'm thinking it probably a 3 to 9, 4 to 12. Michelle, what do you think?
That's exactly what I would suggest too. Either 3 to 9 or 4 to 12. I mean, not to be repetitive, but that's really the middle of the road, not being too much and giving you enough for the close stuff.
Yeah, because either 3 power or 12 power.
I used to have an old Weaver that worked pretty good, but I don't have it anymore.
Oh, man, the old Weavers were really good. The new ones, of course, they're not made in America anymore, but I'm not sure. I guess, you know, what it comes down to is how much you're willing to spend, because the more you spend, the better you get. What's your budget?
Well, I don't know, maybe about $600-700, because, you know, if your life depended on it, sometimes, you know, what's your life worth?
Well, then you're golden, because for $600 and $700, we're into the Lexuses.
Icons.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking. You're edging up into Swarovski land, aren't you, Michelle?
You can be, depending on what model and variation you get. Yeah.
Right, but you could get all the good loopholes and a lot of the Trigicons at that level, and then we're talking about some really good glass.
That's what I was just going to say. I wouldn't look over anything. I'd take them all out of the cabinet and spend some time looking through the glass, not just inside the store, but, you know, taking a good look out the window or whatever you can do to get some distance on those, and you can really see the difference, parallax, etc. with those different scopes isn't going to be an issue when you're willing to pay the price to get a really good quality optic.
You know, and you can pay between $300 and $600 is the ultimate sweet spot where you're getting a lot of quality. Now, you could spend more than that and get, you know, these high-end, long-range scopes, but for what you're talking about, I don't think you need that. I think you're right where you need to be. I also want to applaud you for being realistic about it, instead of saying, you didn't tell me, well, you know, I can spend $125, at which point we're going, oh, man, we're going to have trouble with this one. But at that level, you can get a good quality scope that'll last you a lifetime.
Yeah, do they have the bullet drop compensator on them?
Yes, a lot of them will, and that's, you know, it's a good question. One of the things you may want to look at is find a model that has a BDC on there. In fact, a lot of them come set up. You can buy it set up for the 223, can't you, Michelle?
Yes, you can. They make some specifically for that. Leupold has some really nice optics, and it has the, you know, rangefinder and everything right on there, so you can just calculate out and use your different ballistic drops, and yeah, they're great scopes.
They really are. In fact, you know, somewhere in there you can get, what's a rangefinder? I mean, you can get one of these electronic rangefinders for $100 now, something like that. So I would try to get a rangefinder as part of the deal, because when you got a laser rangefinder and a bullet drop compensator, man, that's just like money.
It's a sure hit.
Almost.
Well, that's true.
You know, the bad part is it starts to reduce your excuses you can throw out there. So, Barry, you got to know that, you know, once you start getting this stuff, you got to perform, because a lot of your alibis are going away.
Yeah, well, I used to do pretty good until I got a little older. My eyesight, I thought I was doing good, but the bullet was hitting somewhere else.
Yeah, I resemble that remark. I understand exactly.
Yeah, you're not alone,
Barry. Yeah, no kidding. Barry, thanks for that call. I think you're going to be fine. You know, Leupold, Trigicon, something in that line, in that $400 to $600 ballpark. Get you a 3 to 9, a 4 to 12. You're going to be golden. That's going to work.
On a bullet drop compensator designed for a 223, do they pick a particular grain weight to base that off, or are there two different compensation graduations?
Excelente. Great question. Yes, you need to have, depending on which scope it is and how it works, they will have a different dial. And you say, this is for a 55 grain, or this is for a different grain bullet, so that it matches the trajectory of that bullet. Excellent question.
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead then.
What was that sound? That was Jim leaving.
Gotta go.
He's gone. Gotta go. I'm sorry, I'm done. Okay, got one in. There you go.
quota.
No, man. I got to tell you guys, we did the first person offender. Just finished up the shooting of it this week. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. There are a lot of people who need more training. And what I've found is what we've talked about before. Once again, people who are, what was the line in Top Gun? It's about you're writing checks that your body can't cash or something like that. Yeah. There's a lot of that going on. People who think, yep, I got my concealed carry class. I got my permit. I am golden, man. I am ready to go. And you throw them into these scenarios. Deer in headlights doesn't even get close to it. It's just kind of like, whoa. It was something. Now, I got to tell you about one little scenario. And some guys did great. And I actually had a couple of ladies that did wonderfully, too. Well, we had one guy, and a lot of, and they come in and they know that we're doing simunitions and they got all their protective gear on and they know there's going to be an attack, right? I mean, they know that's happening. So it's not like you can say, just relax. Well, that's not happening. So we got this restaurant/bar scene set up, and we're in a restaurant/bar. And we got a lot of people moving around a pool table. And this guy, I'm not going to tell you who he is, he's like jerking, his head's whipping around, looking. He's like almost going for his gun. So we had the waitress walk up to him, and she's talking to him, and you're getting from him, and he's looking around, It's like he won't engage, right? Because he's already mentally in a gunfight.
Right.
So we let that first scenario play out, and we got into the gunfight and the whole deal. So second time through, we go take him out to the range, and we come back. And I'm thinking, what are we going to do to break him out of that? I said, I got it. So when our waitress role player comes up, and she's asking about this and that, and just as our guys who are going to get into the fight start really raising their voices, one of the styrofoam cups, the empty ones that we had before, is full of ice cold water. And she dumps it on his neck, right in the middle of this thing.
Nice.
And he just completely unplugged from the whole scenario. His head whipped around. He's trying to figure out what's going on. And at this point, a gunfight breaks out in the middle of this thing. And now we talk about the OODA loop. He's got to reorient himself to what's going on, find a decision, and get himself into action. And it's that reaction time. So I was thinking, what could we do to break this guy up so he's not already halfway through the reaction time? We'll just pull him out. So that worked great. That was fun.
Tom's given the crew the holiday off, so sit back and enjoy a greatest hits of the Gun Talk After Show. If you've never heard it before, now's your chance. The Gun Talk After Show and all the Gun Talk episodes are available free through iTunes, or better yet, through the free smartphone app Gun Dealio. Now, here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim.
Michelle, you'll like this. The other thing we did several times to suck somebody into a situation where you might normally not involve yourself, two people are fighting or that kind of video. We just put a woman into the scenario.
Oh, sure.
And have her get knocked down or have her get shot or something. And man, people just rush right in. And then we set one up right after that happened. Second time, the only problem was the woman was the bad guy. She turned around and just shot him up.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, buddy, you might want to take a look at that and figure it out before you go rushing into the middle of that thing.
That kind of touches on a topic I wanted to bring up in the after show. I was thinking about it the past couple of days. Been doing a little bit of social networking kind of stuff, observation more so than participation. And I've noticed a lot of guys, especially on the gun forums, and it's mostly guys, and there's some women too, that are giving their best gritty stare and tactical stance and in their profile pictures. There's thousands of them. And it's like, really? I'm kind of looking for, not that I'm against any of that stuff, because I think training's great and everything else. I'm just trying to, see how many, what I call normal people, just average Joes, I guess is the word, that are into guns that you would never know. As opposed, because you're not going to be sitting in a restaurant and this guy's got his sling on and his bandana, and his war paint.
Well, I always do, don't you?
I've seen pictures. Some people do that.
The war paint, maybe, but
I look like the Frito Bandito. You know, I got my bandoliers on.
and I think sometimes that image is cast to the people that are either anti-gun or neutral gun. And those are the people they see. And so we have to make a much better presentation and awareness of just the average Joes and Josephines. That because there's got to be way more of us than the other our fellow gun folks.
Well, with 100, 110 million gun owners, yeah, it's two things. One, that's a lot of what I originally wanted Gun Talk Radio to be, and I hope that it has been after 20 years, which is I want people to listen to regular, average people like us, and I want them to come away going, well, God, it sounds like they're having fun, and they sound like just normal people and not at all what the media has told us. And the other point is, I think that's what the NRA has been doing with a lot of their programs of showing people of various ages, women and men, and people of different colors and backgrounds, and saying, we're all gun owners, all of us. We're the people who live next to you, who are standing next to you in the grocery line. We're the people, we're your teachers, your doctors, your plumbers. We're everybody out there. And I think that's a great concept. It kind of goes straight to what you're talking about there, Jim.
Yeah, it's just we've got to cast the image, like we've talked about it before. I bring up shooting a lot to folks, total strangers. Hey, have you ever gone target shooting or target practice? And avoid the words guns and stuff like that, just to kind of feel out test the waters a little bit, because I'm trying to be that ambassador, and my wife is, and my friends are. We're trying to build the awareness of the shooting sports and self protection, but just firearms in general. That we are. Exactly what you said. We are your neighbors. We're the guy next door. We're not necessarily the guy you see that's a Rambo wannabe.
Well, the other thing is the people who I know who are really trained up, they don't do any of that posturing at all. You would never know when they're walking down the street who they are, what they can do, what they're carrying. Completely,
which in itself is, in and of itself, that is a tactical advantage.
Well, it absolutely is. For one thing, it gives you the option to slip out. If something's going on, you just kind of, get out. One of the things we were teaching people is like, we're teaching an ankle. All right, imagine this, an ankle carry. And you're sitting at a table in a restaurant. Somebody comes in and starts robbing the place. And what you do is you go down, you put your head down on the table, and you go, oh, man, I can't believe this is happening. The whole time your head's on the table, and you're just kind of looking like you're distraught and all. Your hands are going down and actually going to your ankle, and you're getting the gun out so that you don't look threatening. You don't look like Mr. Tactical at all. You look like the scared little rabbit. But you have your gun in your hand at this point. And so it gives you options. Not looking uber tactical and all ready to fight gives you options.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So, yes, sir. Let's see. What did we do? We had an all-girl gunfight. That was good.
Sweet.
I
just envisioned mud wrestling or jello wrestling or something.
No. I mean, these two women were blasting away and just hosed it. It was great. It worked out. They're actually great friends personally. That was the one where the first time through we had the guy shoot supposedly his significant other in domestic violence thing, but the second time it was the woman who shot her husband or friend, and our female or woman role players got to figure out what's going on, and then all of a sudden we got two women in a gunfight. It was pretty terrific because let me tell you what. They're serious about it. They got really into it. Yeah, we also, I'm trying to think. It's just like every one of these we learn something from. For those who don't know what we're talking about, it's the First Person Defender series. It's on YouTube. Just put in First Person Defender when you go there. We put people into regular situations like attacks. We had ATM robbery. It was very cool.
Neat. I want to see the hotel room episode.
Hotel room was good. The push-in, we kind of recreated the Lynn Russell CNN anchor deal. That one got almost too real because, people went down on the ground hard, fell on a coffee table, and we had bruises and everything else. In fact, my wife asked me the other day, what's that bruise in your arm? I don't know, but then again, I've been doing role playing for several days here, and I've been getting shot and falling on things, and so who knows, what kind of bruises and marks we've got all over us. So I don't know. It'll go away. Don't worry about it. What's that line? Chicks dig scars. It's okay.
Gives you character there.
There you go.
I've been through so many gunfights, I couldn't even tell you which one that's from.
Here, hold my bandolier.
Excuse me. Nobody touches my bandolier. Oh, goodness. But it was fun. It was, it's long, hard days. We leave the hotel like at 6 in the morning and go out and work it all day. But it's fun. You're just
beats digging
you're learning
ditches.
something every time.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
And the people taking part of that have to be so emotionally drained at the end of that. I mean, the first scenario is bad enough, and then you go back with some training, and like you say, you change it up a little bit, and then you've got a little bit of different motivation, but still the adrenaline that's pumping the whole time. Something's going to happen. It's the anticipation.
And the other aspect, you've got, this is taking place in Louisiana. It's hot, it's muggy, and they're all suited up. So that comes into play. That's got to drive you nuts.
So you got this full face helmet on, and we tell them, if it steams up, you still can't take your mask off. If it fogs up, that's just what it is. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is their heart rate gets elevated, their breathing gets faster, even before the scenario starts, because you kind of got this mildly claustrophobic thing going on. And that's actually very good for the scenario, because it kind of recreates what might happen to you, really.
Well, and definitely changes your focus level. I mean, you're already on high alert because you're coming into the simulation. But focus-wise, wow, you really have to work through a lot of elements. And, I mean, what better training?
I might buy one of those helmets just to go to restaurants and sit down and eat with them on. Just fish it up underneath.
You can meet the most interesting law enforcement officers that way.
Like, yes, I will have your salad.
And then everybody who comes up to wait on you call him Luke. Luke, I'll have the salad.
Are you my father?
I knew. I was glad you're on the same page as me, going in the same direction, because that's what I'm focusing.
I'm with you all the way. I don't know where we're going, but I'll go off that cliff with you.
I'll have the chunky blue cheese.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, my goodness. So let's see. We used some revolvers. It was great. We handed a revolver to a guy who, I think he said he'd shot a revolver once in his life. I said, okay, then you get a revolver. So, you better learn to run everything, because you don't know what you're going to have. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we got some things we need to talk about. We'll be right back with the Gun Talk After Show.
The world can be a dangerous place. Gear up with the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. Equipping your firearm with laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com and receive a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge. Crimson Trace.
Behind every revolution is a patriot. Just as this great country was founded on the ideals of many, the new Mossberg Patriot is the sum of all that came before it. Reliable, timeless, built to last. The classic American hunting rifle, with a heritage forged over generations, has come home. Mossberg.
No matter what gun you have, you want it to hit harder, shoot faster and flatter, and be more accurate. You get all that with the ammunition from Double Tap. Double Tap's experts select the best bullets, then load them to higher velocities while keeping safe pressures. Shoot small groups. Shoot farther. Use custom hunting loads in your handgun or rifle. Even fire 2 projectiles with one shot. DoubleTapAmmo.com. That's DoubleTapAmmo.com.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have GunDealio, the free app for your smartphone. GunDealio delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. Get GunDealio. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with GunDealio. GunDealio.com.
Who will you trust with your guns and valuables? Liberty safes are the best built and most secure safes on the planet. They sell more gun safes than any other brand. It's about trust earned through performance. If your Liberty safe is damaged by fire or attempted break-in, they'll send a new safe right to your home. Protection from thieves and fire. Trust the #1 maker of quality gun safes. LibertySafe.com.
One of the drills we did in one of the, I don't know if it was gun site or where it was, everybody goes and puts his gun down basically in a pile, all their handguns. And then you have to go over there and pick up one of them that's not yours and do a drill with it. So you learn how to run everything because, as they like to say, did anybody ever tell you that you're going to be using your gun in a gunfight? Stuff happens.
Yep. And a lot of the Glock guys and stuff, and they're a fine gun. I have them, I carry them. But if that's all you've had, for example, and all of a sudden you grab a 1911, you're going to be going, wait a second. Can you give me a minute here?
Right.
What's this thing on the side? Yeah, that's called a thumb safety.
Yeah.
Or if you're a 1911 person and you never shot a gun that has a decocker or one of those safeties that you push up to go fire instead of down to go fire, and you're going, "What? I don't know what's going on here." You better be able to figure that stuff out.
Yep.
It's kind of like these guys on the train in France. You know, they tackle this guy's got an AK, and I always ask people, well, do you know how to run an AK? I mean, it's not hard. There's not much to it, but you at least ought to have done it so you know how to rock a magazine in and where the safety is and how to operate it.
Mm-hmm. I got a question for you, Michelle. At your store, I know you can't speak for every store, but at your store in your range, can 5 guys come in and rent 10 guns and switch between them?
Well, we allow so many out there at one time, but yes, if depends on how many people. Like we let 2 people on a booth, so you could have potentially 5 booths amongst 10 people. It's more comfortable that way. Each one of you could have 5 firearms, and instead of actually moving the firearm amongst you, you just move your booths. But yeah, we encourage that.
Because to me, that would make a lot of sense.
Actually, they have 5 guns and 6 people, and they play the music, and when the music stops.
Back to childhood.
It's musical sidearms.
But it's great chance to train, and even when you're deciding, do I want this gun, do I want that gun? By 5-10 rounds, you know whether or not it's comfortable in your hands, and then you can kind of.
I thought that would be a way to kind of defray the cost a little bit. You get 3-4 buddies to go, and everybody rents a couple guns. Now you've got 12 available.
Right.
And, hey, I've never fired a 1911. Well, here, now you can.
Right.
And it's cheaper than one guy trying to go out and rent 12 guns.
Well, yeah.
The only concern is having that many guns out and making sure they're not swapping around, that muzzles are in right direction. And, there's just a little bit of a safety concern with having a bunch of guys basically juggling all those guns.
Well, that's why we always ask that, change your booth. Leave the firearm downrange open.
There you go. So you're not handling them around. I got
exactly.
You.
Yeah. So we always
that makes sense.
Leave them in the booth and just advance the station that you're in or whatever you want to do.
Right. And throw out your empty brass in that hollowed out cantaloupe over there.
Nice.
Oh, sorry. That's a callback to last week. Sorry.
I barely was able to come to work this week.
And why is it that Jim called you Melanie? I didn't understand that.
So sorry.
Oh man, look. So there it is. So that's what we did this week. I got shot a bunch. It's always fun when we're like in a restaurant and there's a bunch of us saying, "Well, we're going to go shoot Jim today," and people are like turning around. So what?
What did he ever do to you?
That's right.
I need to know what the outcome of Ryan and the Ninja Monkey situation. Because Ryan was threatened. She was coming after him no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Jessica is from Barnes Bullets in Remington. Yeah, she showed up, wanting to know about the monkeys. And the funny part was, Matt Wilson from Ruger shows up, and he wanted to know about the ninja monkeys. I'm thinking, how did he know? Oh, he listens to the radio show. he had heard it, the whole thing. So that was the running joke all this past week was ninja monkeys.
Tom's given the crew the holiday off, so sit back and enjoy a greatest hits of the Gun Talk After Show. If you've never heard it before, now's your chance. The Gun Talk After Show and all the Gun Talk episodes are available free through iTunes, or better yet, through the free smartphone app GunDealio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim.
We really do have a primate research center right next to us over here. And I don't know, I just thought of that. I thought monkeys and ninjas, and we'll just do something silly. It just took on a life of its own. It was goofy. I know that surprises you, right?
Yeah, you've never done anything goofy before, have you?
Never, no. So Jessica got shot up seriously. She was actually in the 2 women gunfight with Sandy from our office. They're good friends, but... let me tell you, when the shooting starts, it's every woman for herself. So that was fun stuff.
When will these be available for viewing?
Never. We just do them. We don't ever put them out there.
Well, no.
Shoot them for their own fun. Yeah.
That's right. We don't actually record anything while we're doing this. No, the complete shows we're shooting for mid to late November. We shot 14 of these, so we have 14 episodes of the First Person Defender series. We like to release them all at the same time on YouTube because it's one of those binge watching things where people start and they want to go through all of them. So rather than like roll about one a week or something, that's the beauty of an online delivery. We can do it all at the same time.
Sweet.
All right, November. Here we are.
So as soon as they're really ready to go out, that's right, we'll get them out there. I guess in the meantime, I would just say, hey, you guys need to do more shooting. I need to do more shooting. We all do. I just got an email from a guy while we're doing this. He says, so can you name me the top 3 groups that you would send money to? And I'm thinking, well, there's an interesting question. For me, I'll tell you who I give money to. I don't know if they're the top 3 or anything. I give money to the Second Amendment Foundation, to the NRA, and to the NRA ILA, which those are 2 different groups. I'm not sure everybody understands that. Right. Money given to the NRA does not go to the lobbying effort. It has to go to the NRA ILA.
Correct.
And I just got another guy to say, well, what about this National Association of Gun Rights? I go, no. How many times do I have to say no? He's sending out stuff again about UN and scaring people into giving money. So, no. That's the only group I say no to. I mean, if you want to pick somebody else that I'm not donating to, that's fine.
Jim's Pro Gun Foundation.
That's right.
Are you in?
That's right. I'm in. If you send me the money, I will think good thoughts for you. So what? Say what? So, there's some other good groups out there. Well, and the other thing is, I guess I always do hasten to add, I also became a life member of the Louisiana Shooting Association. You should support your state group.
That's something I can work on this week. Yeah.
Your state group is cheap. Their dues are usually like nothing. I think it was like $200 for a life membership in this group. So you go, okay. That way I don't have to remember to renew.
$200 on a life deal. What kind of package deal can I get on a couple?
Yeah, no kid. You know what? I think you should belong to the Louisiana group even though you don't live here.
Okay.
So there you go. There you go.
If it's guns,
you can come down and visit us, and you could have gumbo.
All right.
Guns and gumbo.
Tough
That's
sell
our new show.
there.
Yeah, really. Since you've been down there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. Well, that's okay. We send you guys some chow now and then. So you get to sample some of our good stuff.
I like the turducken. You changed our life with that.
Turducken. Between turducken and gumbo, it's good stuff. It's not just for Christmas anymore.
That's right.
So there you go. All right, I've got to go plot against ninja monkeys. So, they're there. They're always there. You never know.
And I'm going to get back online trying to find women shooting women videos.
Wait, what?
We need...
they're not out yet. Never mind.
Michelle, you're over there smacking for me, okay?
I will take care of that.
All right, let's consider it done. There you go.
Super.
All right, you guys have a good week. Everybody have a good week, and we'll do it next week right here on Gun Talk.
Be good.
Bye, Tom.